You spent years training your dog to behave, to not jump on people, to stop barking for no reason, to stay away from dirty water, to keep out of the trash. The moment you look away, he does something so disgusting that you start questioning whether any of that training ever worked at all. He eats something off the ground before you can stop him, licks his own wound like it's the most important job in the world, sniffs a stranger dog's backside like it's a perfectly normal greeting, eats grass in the middle of a walk, throws himself onto something rotten with the look of someone who just found paradise, and seconds later comes running towards you wanting a hug. The problem isn't him. The problem is that nobody ever told you what's actually happening in those moments. Every single one of these behaviors has a real biological function, not a theory, not a guess. Something tested, refined, and selected by evolution over tens of thousands of years. Long before leashes, dog food, or fenced backyards ever existed. Scientists and researchers spent years studying exactly these behaviors, and what they found is clear. Your dog isn't being gross. He's following systems far older than any command you've ever taught him. And when you understand how those systems work, you see a much more sophisticated animal than you ever expected.
My name is Jake, and this is my best friend Buddy. Here, we make simple animated videos to help you understand your dog a little better. If you want to keep learning with us, subscribe. We post a new video every week.
Number 1. Eating poop. You see your dog do this, and your first reaction is that something is seriously wrong with him. But research shows that 1 in 4 dogs has done it at least once. 1 in 6 does it regularly. So it's far more common than most people think. And there's a very specific reason behind it. Dogs' ancestors lived in groups inside dens. Waste left in the den could carry parasites. The problem is that parasite eggs take about 48 hours to become infectious. So the solution evolution came up with was simple. The mother ate the puppy's waste before that could happen. Keep the den clean. Protect the whole litter. What confirms this theory is a detail that's hard to ignore. More than 80% of dogs with this behavior prefer waste that's less than 2 days old. Exactly the window before the parasites become dangerous.
That's not random. That's a protection system working with precision. Disgusting to you. Survival protocol for him.
Number 2. Rolling in disgusting things. You've seen this before or you will. You turn your back for 2 seconds and your dog is already neck deep in something that smells like death. Tail up. Pure joy on his face, like he just found the greatest spot on earth. The strongest explanation comes from wolf behavior observed in the wild. Wolves rolled in carcasses and animal waste before hunting. The goal was to cover their own scent. Prey animals detect the smell of a predator and run.
But if the predator arrives smelling like something familiar in the environment, it can get much closer before being noticed.
Scent camouflage, a hunting strategy tens of thousands of years old. And there's a second layer most people don't know about. Canadian researchers observed that when a wolf rolls in something strong-smelling and returns to the pack, the other members sniff intensely and sometimes track back to the source. The behavior works as communication, a way of telling the group there's something worth checking out nearby. When your dog does this and runs straight to you, he's not being difficult, he's sending you a message. To a pack that, from his perspective, still exists. Number 3. Eating grass. The most common belief is that dogs eat grass when they feel sick, that it's self-medication, that they know they're going to throw up and they're doing it on purpose.
Science tells a different story. A study with more than 1,500 dog owners showed that only 8% said their dog seemed sick before eating grass, and less than 25% threw up afterward. Most dogs eat grass without being sick, and without vomiting after. The self-medication theory simply doesn't hold up in the data. What science points to as the real cause is simpler than you'd expect: fiber and ancestral instinct.
Wolves have between 2 and 10% plant material in their stomachs, eaten along with the plant-eating animals they hunted. Domestic dogs lost that access. Grass may be an instinctive way to meet that fiber need, which helps digestion and keeps the gut moving properly.
There's a clinical case that makes this very clear. A miniature poodle was monitored by vets for 7 years with the same repeated behavior:
eating grass and vomiting. When the diet was changed to a high-fiber food, the behavior disappeared completely in 3 days. The case was documented and published as evidence that fiber deficiency may be the real trigger behind the behavior. Your dog isn't confused when he eats grass. He's asking for something his body needs that modern food doesn't provide. Number 4. Licking wounds. Your dog gets hurt and goes straight to licking the spot. Or when you get hurt, he tries to do the same for you. Looks like empty instinct. There's actually real chemistry behind it.
Dog saliva contains compounds with real antimicrobial activity. Lysozyme attacks the cell walls of bacteria. Lactoferrin slows microbial growth. And when saliva touches skin, the nitrate in it converts to nitric oxide, confirmed by science to inhibit bacterial growth in wounds. This was published in The Lancet. It's not folklore.
But here's the honest part. That same mouth carries more than 600 types of bacteria, some harmless, others potentially dangerous in open wounds. That's why vets don't recommend letting dogs lick injuries. The risks outweigh the benefits in most modern situations. The instinct, though, exists for a clear reason. In the wild, with no antibiotics and no bandages, licking was the only option available, and it worked well enough to be preserved for tens of thousands of years. The first aid system is still running. The world changed. The program never got the update. Number 5. Sniffing other dogs' backsides. You take your dog to the park. Within 2 seconds, he has his nose in the backside of a dog he just met. No introduction, no small talk. Straight to the point.
This isn't bad manners, it's the canine handshake, and it's far more efficient than ours. The anal area of a dog has apocrine glands that release chemical compounds unique to each animal. In a single sniff, your dog gets information about the other animal's sex, approximate age, emotional state, health level, recent diet, and reproductive status.
All of that in under 3 seconds. Compare that to humans. When you meet someone, you exchange names, shake hands, ask questions, read body language. It takes minutes. Your dog did all of that and got more information before you finished saying hello. Awkward for you. A full conversation for him. Number 6. Drinking from any water source available. A puddle in the park. Rainwater on the ground, the toilet bowl if the lid was left up.
Looks completely careless. It's survival instinct. In the wild, clean water was scarce and unpredictable. The canine body adapted to tolerate drinking from sources with bacterial levels that would make a human sick. The dog's immune system was built for that kind of environment.
That doesn't mean any water is safe. Water that's been sitting for a long time can carry parasites dangerous even to dogs. But the tendency to drink from whatever source is available is an emergency system, inherited from a time when the next clean water source could be miles away.
He's not being reckless. He's securing hydration the only way his body was built to do it. 6 behaviors, 6 disgusted reactions, 6 survival systems, parasites, camouflage, fiber, infection, social information, emergency hydration.
Your dog is not an animal with strange, pointless habits. He's a highly optimized biological system living in a world that changed faster than evolution could keep up with. The programs are still running. The environment around him is just new.
When you see something that looks disgusting, the right question isn't what's wrong with him. The right question is what problem that behavior was solving. And when you find that answer, you stop seeing a weird dog and you start seeing an animal that did absolutely everything right for thousands of years. If this video changed the way you see your dog, there's a lot more on this channel. Every behavior has a story, every instinct has a reason, and the more you understand, the closer you get to the animal that chose to live with you.